What to do, YouTube? It's that time of week again. I feel like this is going to be the Dolphins week. I feel like the stars are aligned perfectly for the Miami Dolphins to get their first dub. Looking at this injury report, it just feel like the Miami Dolphins just match up perfectly. Now let's go over the Miami Dolphins injury report real fast. Obviously, Danny Isidore was placed on injury reserve, and Isaiah Ford ended up got moved up to the active roster. Jesse Davis last week against the Dallas Cowboys ended up leaving the game with an arm injury. He was wearing a brace in practice. These are Thursday's injury reports, so it may change moving forward going into Friday. I'm recording this on Thursday, so Rashad Jones. It was in all caps. Well, Wednesday, they put it in all caps Wednesday that Rashad Jones returns back to practice. All caps. This is on the Bleacher Report. They sent me the notification. NFL.com sent me the notification. Miami Dolphins app sent me the notification. It was in all caps. They wanted to make sure that you actually saw the notification that Rashad Jones was returned to practice. And I feel like this is extremely important. This is perfect timing because you have Bobby McCain. He's possibly going to not be able to play in this game with a hamstring and a shoulder injury. And also Jamal Wiltz, he may not play either with a groin injury. So we're looking really, really skimp at the safety position. So Rashad Jones returning to practice came at a perfect time. Honestly, when you look at with Albert Wilson, I feel like you should just keep Albert Wilson out through this game and throughout the bye and just have him come back after the bye week and play against the Washington Redskins. I like I said in the previous videos, with Albert Wilson's hip injury, that's something you don't want to play with. I feel like you should just take your time of getting back into the lineup and have him be completely healthy instead of risking him tweaking the injury either in practice or during the game. Now, looking at the Los Angeles Chargers injury report, and this is why I feel like this is a favorable matchup for us, because Travis Benjamin, one of the receivers, did not practice Thursday. Casey Hayward did not practice Thursday. Hunter Henry didn't practice Thursday. Mike Williams, the number 2 receiver, he didn't practice Thursday. You got basically your 3 top threats for the Los Angeles Chargers basically did not practice. Outside of Keenan Allen, is the best receiver, possibly top 5 receiver in the league. People underrate him a lot, but I feel like he's a top 5 receiver in this league. When you look at the Miami Dolphins, the keys of emphasis going into this game against the Los Angeles Chargers, we had some great success against the Chargers over the past several years. So, like I said, the stars are aligned here. Now, I do want to touch on this real fast before I actually get into the keys of emphasis. The Miami Dolphins, they have to capitalize on their opportunities. Last week, I felt like we missed out on a whole bunch of opportunities. First drive of the game, the Miami Dolphins versus the Dallas Cowboys end up missing the field goal. Missing the field goal in the first drive of the game. Can't do that. Drop passes, the fumble with Kenyon Drake before going into halftime. That cannot happen this week. A lot of points were left on the board last week against the Dallas Cowboys, and we cannot afford to do that again this week against the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's just be clear cut honest here. The Miami Dolphins, they cannot run the ball at all. I'm just like that's just not happening. Maybe with Jesse Davis returning back to the lineup, he's going to be at the left tackle position due to Julian Davenport being out for the rest of the season. You have Michael Dieter at left guard, center, Daniel Kilgore. Honestly, I like the way he's been playing. Right guard, that's a little bit of a question mark since you have Danny Isidore. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. I like to see what Evan Boeheim can do at the right guard position. But us running the football, that is just almost non-existent. Like, it's always just a missed assignment in the running game, and it's just not looking good. And like, I feel like we've been saying this forever now. It's been a consistent thing. It's like almost what I expect from the Miami Dolphins offensive line. But if we could somehow muster up some type of running game during this Chargers game, that would be great. That would literally take a lot of pressure off of Josh Rosen's shoulders. Now, when you look at Josh Rosen going up against this Los Angeles Chargers pass rush with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram, yeah, to the two of the top pass rushers in the league. So again, I would expect Josh Rosen to get the ball out of his hands quick. I felt like us running screens and short passes last week against the Dallas Cowboys was able to take some of the pressure off of Josh Rosen until the game got kind of out of hand going into the second half against the Dallas Cowboys, and then we were forced to do things that were not towards our strengths. As you noticed during the game last week against the Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins, they was getting positive yards on first down. Positive yards, whether it be 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards. Like, as long as you get some type of positive yards, once you hit third down, you're in a situation where it's not third down and long, and you can open up the playbook a little bit more with play action pass, even though we can't run the ball. But you can open up the playbook a little bit with bootleg. We could do a whole bunch of things when it's third down and when it's third down and 5 and shorter than actually being stuck in a third down and 10 and higher. So I expect the Miami Dolphins to do that same thing over again with either some shallow crosses, some dig routes, some quick outs, some ends, some screen plays to Kenyon Drake, which reminds me, getting Kenyon Drake involved again in the offense this week. I felt like they did an excellent job last week against the Dallas Cowboys of getting Kenyon Drake involved in the offense. Unfortunately, again, he fumbled the football at the end of the first half against the Dallas Cowboys, but it showed that Kenyon Drake, when he gets involved in the offense, I feel like our chances of winning increases. Now, at the wide receiver position for the Miami Dolphins, like I said, we had some missed opportunities. Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Jakeem Grant, Kenyon Drake, they all had some drops in that Dallas Cowboys game. This week against the Los Angeles Chargers, we cannot miss opportunities and drop passes like this. Like I said in the injury report, you have Casey Hayward, the top corner, in doubt of playing this game. You need to take advantage of the next guy up on the Los Angeles Chargers in the Los Angeles Chargers secondary, and whoever that may be, I feel like we can win that matchup in this game. So expect either Devontae Parker or Preston Williams to have. Honestly, I felt like Preston Williams just had a bad week against the Dallas Cowboys, so I expect him to bounce back this week. Devontae Parker, he played lights out too. I expect the level of consistency minus the drops. So, yeah, whoever's lined up against either one of those receivers, I expect them to have a big game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, moving on to the defensive side of the football, I felt like in the first half against the Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins defense played somewhat decent. Unfortunately, as the game went on and the final box score, the Dallas Cowboys had over 100 yards rushing with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott both had over 100 yards rushing. That cannot happen this week. I know they don't have Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon just returned back to the Los Angeles Chargers. Didn't exactly say if he was going to play or not, but they do have Austin Eckler, which Austin Eckler has been playing pretty well for the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Jackson was on the injury report too, so he was limited in practice, so it's a possibility he may play too. But we have to shut down the running game. I know that's another thing that we end up keep saying on the regular basis. Shut down the running game. But we had to shut down the running game. Like let's force the ball into Phillip Rivers' hand. I know that's kind of ridiculous for me to say, but I think Mike Williams is limited in practice. You're gonna be stuck with one weapon. That's Keenan Allen. You're stuck with Keenan Allen as that one weapon. Let's try to force the ball into Phillip Rivers' hand. I feel like he could turn the ball over, and which leads me into my next point. Put pressure on Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is a sitting duck in the pocket. The last couple of weeks, we played Dak Prescott. We played Lamar Jackson. We played week 2. Can't even remember who we played week 2. Like I have amnesia off the losses that we have taken. I literally have amnesia. But we had to put pressure on Phillip Rivers. Like I felt like the majority of the quarterbacks that we have played have been Tom Brady, Played the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. So and this was week against Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. We had to put pressure on him. I did see last week during against the Dallas Cowboys, we were sending some 3-man rushes. Come on now. We got to put pressure on Dak Prescott. Any quarterback that has time in the pocket can look like an all-star if they have time to throw the football to who they need to throw the football to. Which also, Xavier Howard, they had a terrible game against the Dallas Cowboys, guarding Amari Cooper, shadowing him wherever he was going. This is a perfect chance for you to get your confidence back and bounce back. We had a conversation. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna bounce back this week, most definitely. Whoever ends up lining up, or Keenan Allen, or whoever the backup is after that. But I feel like this is the week where you need to bounce back. Which also, with the pass rush, Taco Charlton, I like the addition. Along with Charles Harris on the opposite side, just like to see a little bit more consistency out of him. I know he did have a sack, but honestly, I don't credit him the sack. I feel like that was more of a cover sack more than anything. But I expect to see a little bit more pressure that he applies on the Chargers. Offensive line for the Chargers isn't exactly that great. So again, I expect big things from either Charles Harris or Taco Charlton, one of the two. But I expect them to have one of them to have a big day. Final score, man, high final score. I always pick the Miami Dolphins to win. But like I said, the stars are aligned this week. The stars are aligned. I feel like this is the week. Final score. Where are we going to go? Let's do 20-17. Miami at home. Let's get it. I like it. I did fail to actually put out this other video about Josh Rosen. I'm probably going to end up doing it during the bye, but let me know what you guys think. You know what it is. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is GreatOne DeVore. I'm up out of here.